Welcome, folks, to the next episode of BattleTech Simplified, Season 2. I'm Michael Schachman, I'll be your host and commentator, and in today's episode we will be covering a relative newcomer to the scene of BattleTech, a light, rugged, but dependable light mech, and the answer to some of the serious problems in 3028 of the Federated Suns and Lyran Alliance, or Lyran Commonwealth, that is. Today we will be covering the Wolfhound. A light, rugged, and dependable design, the Wolfhound made its first appearance in 3028. Following the success of the Hatchet Man, designed in partnership with the Federated Suns, Archon Katrina Steiner ordered Theris Industries to produce a battle mech to address a persistent problem of the Lyran Commonwealth Armed Forces, that being hunting down and destroying the Panther and Jenner, swift light battle mechs of the Draconis Combine, which had embarrassed the LCAF one too many times. The final design was a light battle mech with an all-energy weapons payload, effective at a variety of combat ranges, the maximum amount of armor for a mech of its weight class, and the use of mostly standardized components to keep costs down. Due to their fierce loyalty to House Steiner, the Calhounds were the first unit chosen to field test the Wolfhound in combat, followed shortly thereafter by the Wolf's Dragoons. The design received its baptism under fire during the Fourth Succession War, where it exceeded all expectations and performed brilliantly. This was especially true when the Wolfhound faced its intended targets, hitting the Jenner beyond its ability to return fire, while closing the distance on the Panther to get within the minimum range of its primary weapon, that being a PPC. With the successful end of the war, the Federated Commonwealth ordered larger numbers of Wolfhounds to outfit its military, and the design was used again during the War of 3039. The Wolfhounds suffered far fewer casualties than other mechs during that conflict, and as such, a mere handful fell into the hands of the Combine. While impressed with the mech, the Curetans were too prideful, however, to copy it themselves, instead using captured examples to help develop the Wolf Trap, specifically to counter the mech. Eventually, Ark Royal Mechworks was brought in to produce Wolfhounds under license with Theris, and the recovery of Lost Tech thanks to the Helm Memory Core allowed for a more advanced variant to be produced to combat the clan invasion. Unfortunately, however, the necessary retooling of Theris factories to produce the WLF-2 model, introduced in 3052, took too long before Comstar brought an end to the invasion of with the Battle of Tukiad. These newer Wolfhounds continued to be produced for both FedCom member states, although following the formal creation of the Lyran Alliance, the Theris factories began producing the newer WLF 3S model. This new variant was shipped only to units loyal to the Lyran state, and thus fought on the side of Catherine Steiner-Davian during the FedCom Civil War. During the Jihad of the Word of Blake launched a devastating assault on Tharkad, effectively shutting down Theris' Wolfhound factory line. In response, Ark Royal increased production and introduced the WLF-4 model to replace the losses suffered by Allied forces fighting the Blakists. In terms of the weaponry and equipment for the Wolfhound, as a laser boat, quote-unquote, the Wolfhound's basic weaponry array frees it from the supply lines and allows for superior endurance during extended campaigns. The primary long-range weapon is a Cyclops 12 ER large laser mounted in the right arm, which allows the Wolfhound to strike at ranges of nearly 600 meters. In addition, as secondary weapons for close combat, the Wolfhound is armed with 4 Defiance B3M medium lasers, 3 of which are split between the right, center, and left torso, and while the 4th is mounted in the center rear in case a mech tries to exploit the traditional blind spot. In addition, 10 double heat sinks allow for superior heat management, while 7.5 tons of armor provide excellent protection. While the majority of the components used in the Wolfhound are Lyran in origin, the use of full head ejection system required the help of the Federated Suns. Countless mech warrior lives have been saved thanks to this system's ability to operate in traditionally hostile environments. As for my personal feelings on the Wolfhound, I've used it many times in my limited playthroughs on the tabletop. I've used it tons in Solaris 7 and MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries. I've even used it a little bit in certain playthroughs of BattleTech, the game by Harebrained Schemes. It is just a great, really all-around great light mech. It honestly, I think that it is the Lyran answer in terms of being a frontline, heavily producible trooper mech to the Draconis Combine's Panther. I think it is a great mech, and it does exactly what it was designed to do. Would highly recommend you check it out. I love this mech. Go check it out. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. This was back to our general traditional time frame for episodes. A little bit shorter, but not nearly to the level that the other 2 that we did in the last 2 weeks were. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm definitely feeling a lot more comfortable making these videos now. I feel a lot more in sync doing stuff. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I am in a safe place and doing well personally and mentally, whereas before I was kind of out of sorts a little bit. So thank you so much for all the support and love you guys have sent. I love you all. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, folks, please be sure to consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Also, if you don't ever want to miss when our videos go live, be sure to check out and ring the bell icon. Also, check out the link down in the description to my other YouTube channel, the DM Shockman main YouTube channel, where I do different types of Let's Plays and whatnot. At this point, by the time you guys are seeing this, I will have pretty much, I will still have a couple of things coming out, but will have been well into my transition period, switching over entirely to a dedicated title, that being Lord of the Rings Online. So go and check it out. Anyway, guys, I'm Michael Shockman. I've been your host and commentator, and remember, as always, no guts, no galaxy. Later, everybody.